Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Allie at Heart and Soul Connected, and I haven't been here for a few days, so I thought I would post something for you all that I had pre-recorded again. So I have been thinking a lot about different ways that we can begin our spiritual journey or to acknowledge our spiritual journey and to find meaning in life through that journey. By looking at different aspects of it. And so I'd like to present some of those aspects to you. The mysteries of the universe, connection with your inner self, and discovering your secrets to a better inner life are the benefit of such things. So this transformative journey will guide you into some self-awareness, into some ways that you might feel less lost, and to help you contact that persistent hum that might be just underlying your life. And you're wondering, am I even on the right track? So maybe when you're feeling lost, the truth is that you're much more connected and closer to being found than you think you are. It's like feeling like you're standing on the edge of this unseen, beautiful ocean. You can sense its depth, but you can only see the surface. You just see the either the tempestuous or the very calm waves that lap the shore. So many of us feel lost. But what if that feeling isn't a sign that you're broken? What instead if that feeling is actually the first critical sign that you're actually progressing along your path? Wouldn't that be something? What if it's the universe whispering a special invitation to you, a call to adventure, far deeper than anything you could have ever imagined? This is the invitation. It isn't about finding a new belief system or even joining another group or becoming a member of a channel. It's a direct call to the deepest parts of you, the part that knows there's more to being alive than what our five senses show us. It's an invitation to go on a personal quest, a spiritual journey to explore what our five senses tell us, and also the unseen layers of the reality and connection with the very consciousness that animates everything. Whether you realize it or not, we're all on a search for profound meaning in our lives. And this is your doorway. Let's step through it together and see what some of the components are that will move you forward into that beautiful journey that's waiting for you. To start the journey, we need a new kind of a map. I remember when maps were actually placed in books and we followed those maps when we were traveling around the earth, that it was always a no-brainer for us, if we were going somewhere, to find a way to get there in the most expeditious, most direct way. And so we bought these maps and we plotted those maps and sometimes had to replot them depending upon if there were things in the way. Since we now have GPS that pretty much tells us everything that we need to know when we're traveling, at least in our cars, we don't think about these maps as many times as we had in the past. It's not as important, perhaps, and yet it's very difficult to see in front of you where you are on the journey, if you think about it. If you're using a GPS, you know how many miles you have to go, and you know how many perhaps hours you've already gone, but you're not seeing where you are on a map. Not really, not a big map that's spread out in front of you. You can't tell if you're even going in the right direction. You just have to trust an electronic piece of equipment that's going to tell you that you are heading in that direction. Now, I know it does help when those maps help us get around detours. And in our physical map that we used to have, we had a harder time doing that. But we always had an idea of where we were going, what direction we were going in. And even if for some silly reason it made us go north when we had to go south because we had to go around a huge area that didn't have a pass that went through it. So no one not one with continents, these maps, but one of existence itself. Let's think about it as a map of existence. This is where metaphysics comes in. It sounds like a heavy word, but all that really means is exploring the fundamental nature of reality, going beyond just the physical, going beyond, which is metaphysical. It's about asking the big questions as well. What is all this? What's consciousness? What's the real relationship between my mind and the world? We all know that thoughts are things. Are we thinking the good thoughts, or are we wallowing in the poor thoughts? From this perspective, the world around you is just one big layer of a much deeper multidimensional reality. Doesn't that sound exciting to you? It does to me. The idea here is that our existence is fundamentally spiritual, and everything in our material world has roots in the spiritual realm, because everything begins with a thought. When something is invented, a pencil, for instance, somebody had to come up with that before it became a reality. So the roots of a pencil, a pen, or anything else in your life start as a thought, which is beyond the physical. The idea is that it suggests the reality we experience is not made up of a bunch of separated, isolated thoughts, but it's single, it's unified and whole. And we are not alone. It's part of the collective consciousness. So our journey, consciousness is very fundamental. If not, your brain cooks up a biological side effect. Instead, consciousness is the very fabric of existence, and our individual minds are just given access points at this field. The one idea changes everything. Consciousness changes everything. Belief in such changes everything. If we're not just expressions of one consciousness, then the feeling of being separate is nothing more than an illusion. We are not separate. The illusion of being separate is the main challenge of everyone on a spiritual path. It's the dragon we have to face in our own heroine or hero's journey. It's the source of our fear, our conflicts, and the feeling of being alone in an indifferent, huge universe. Our allies on this path are the practices that help us see through this illusion. Things like meditation, contemplation, spending time in nature, grounding, or any real activity that quiets the noise of the ego and lets us feel that deeper connection. These aren't just relaxation techniques, they are powerful, powerful tools for focusing from the wave to the ocean, from our small self to the universal self. Part 2 of this is navigating our own path. How are we going to do that? Every spiritual journey is completely unique. We all don't find our spiritual journeys at the same time, through the same way, on the same path. We're all individual. No man is an island, however. The stages we go through share a similar pattern. It's almost never straight to enlightenment. And if it is that really truth? How did that even happen? It's more like a spiral where we circle back to the same lessons over and over again, but each time with a new level of understanding. And you could say that this certainly is the reincarnation pattern. We can't learn everything in one lifetime. We've come to accept that if we believe in reincarnation, and we know that there must be lessons and new things to learn in every lifetime. However, we may end up going back and relearning again because we're not remembering. We're not being open to the process. The journey kicks off with a phase of deep soul searching, also a powerful longing for meaning and purpose. We get to a point, some would say midlife. Is this all there is? Is this really all there is? I tried this, I tried that, I tried this. nothing works, nothing changes, nothing's different. That's because it isn't all there is. The ego and the self keep us tied down to our earthly lives and block the spiritual from occurring when we're only focused on those lifetimes, that physical lifetime. It's a feeling as though you are being on autopilot and everything has been nagging at you that there just has to be something more to life than this. There has to be. Why am I not seeing it? What do I need to do to see it? The journey kicks off with a phase of deep soul searching, and you might begin questioning you've ever been taught, looking for answers in books, in conversations, in new experiences, in new classes. This is the seeker stage. A lot of us have already passed by the seeker stage. We're here already. We've made that decision. But sometimes we fall by the wayside. It isn't working fast enough for us, so we're going to go back to our comfort zone, even though it isn't where we want to really be. All this seeking eventually leads to what many would call a spiritual awakening. This doesn't have to be a single dramatic lightning bolt event, and I think a lot of people think that it does have to be that very same thing. But it doesn't. It doesn't have to. Everyone's different. It can be a series of aha moments where the veil of ordinary life gets really thin and you suddenly catch a glimpse how everything really is connected. It's the moment you realize the limits you thought you had were self-imposed. And I talked about this in growth or fixed mindset in another video. You are so much bigger than you ever have ever believed. But how can you be, you ask? I'm nobody special, you say. That's not true. You are you, an integral part of the whole. The moments can be amazing, but they can also be really disorientating. Disorienting, sorry. As your old beliefs start to fall away, you might feel some inner conflict or even some denial. Well, I don't know if I'm really seeing what I think I'm seeing, hearing what I'm really hearing. I don't know if this is the truth or this isn't the truth. Oh, I just don't know how I feel about any of that, you might say. Your logical brain might struggle to make sense of what the soul is trying to understand. And sometimes we've done that to ourselves. Did I really hear that? Did I really see that? That's impossible. There's no way. That couldn't be true. This is a normal part of your process, though. It is a period of questioning and inner turmoil that you start to integrate these inner truths. And they're huge. They don't all come at once. This leads to a phase of deep healing. A spiritual awakening shines a light on all parts of ourselves that we have hidden in the shadows. Our past traumas, our fears, our conditioned habits, our belief systems, our goals. The healing stage is when we start to do the work of letting go of all of these burdens. It's the 10 of Wands, holding on to something that simply can be let go. And as letting go, let's go with the burden. The goal isn't to become perfect. That is never the goal. It's to become whole. It's to become aligned with not only the physical, but also the spiritual. It's about lining up our daily actions with the deeper truths we've uncovered and believe in. And it isn't about escaping the world. It's learning to live in it more fully with awareness and compassion and empathy. As you move into part 3, a moment of truth comes up, a real big one. As we walk the path, there is a point of a profound challenge, a moment that feels like a great ordeal, or a testing, let's say, of our faith and belief in something. It isn't a battle with something outside of you, but with something inside of you. It's the direct confrontation with the ego. That part of us that identifies as a separate self, the story we tell us about ourselves. The ego has spent a lifetime building up walls for us, creating an identity based on our past, our beliefs, our fears, our desires. The spiritual journey asks us to let those walls dissolve. It can be very terrifying when this happens. It can feel like a death, and in a way, it's the death of the illusion of who you thought you were, who you've made yourself be, because you were running away from a higher purpose that you didn't believe you had. The real test is the act of surrender, of letting go of the need to control everything, because the truth is you can't. There's no way. There's no way you can. The real test is the act of surrender, of letting go of the need to be right or define yourself by your wins or your wounds. It's the willingness to stand naked in the face of the unknown and to trust that you won't be lost, you will be found. What's the reward for facing this, you might ask? It's the direct, gut-level experience of your true nature. It's transcendence. It's the climax of the journey and the moment the wave remembers it's part of the ocean. It's a profound sense of oneness with all of life, a feeling of being connected to every person, every animal, even the stars in the sky. It's realizing that the love you were looking for outside yourself is the very essence of your own being and the force that holds the universe together. There is no out there. There is only here, now. This isn't an idea you think about. It's a reality you can feel in your bones, in the very blood of your underneath your skin. It's a peace that goes beyond all understanding, a deep, unshakable knowing that you are home and you've always been home, all along. The journey can feel very lonely, but you're not walking in it by yourself. There are countless others on the path right alongside of you. You may not see them at all times, but it doesn't mean they're not there. Guides, angels, ancestors are also contained in this multitude. If you feel that this stage is something that you're hoping to achieve, make sure that you respond and let me know how you're doing. These ideas go a lot deeper. For instance, there is the road back. Experiencing a moment of profound connection is life-altering for all of us. But the journey doesn't end there. It is a whole new chapter called the road back. You've got it, and now you're bringing it into your reality. You found it on the mountainside, you brought it back to the valley. Is this new awareness change how you wash the dishes, how you talk to your family, how you deal with your new job? It's not about detaching from the world. We've been told it was. We've been told that's the only way to get in there and know, to be a monk in some monastery. It's not true. It's engaging in the world from a completely new level of consciousness. It is embodying the wisdom you've gained, starting to see the secret in the mundane. A normal conversation becomes an opportunity for real connections, and the challenge becomes a lesson in patience and communion with the divine. It is the definition of before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. We still must live in this world that we live in. But it's different now because we can see so much broader a perspective in what's going on. It's a continuous process of being reborn each and every single moment of your life. Your relationships might change as you start connecting with people more authentically. You might feel a pull toward a deeper sense of purpose, calling to serve for something or creating something from a place of love and alignment. This is a lifelong journey. It requires lots of patience and also self-compassion. Can you fall by the wayside? Oh, yes. You tripped. You fell. You scun your knees. Now you get back up again and you continue forward. It's about learning to navigate with an open heart, even when your old habits and the chaos of the world attempt you to close your heart again. So the purpose of this journey is to return with the elixir, which is the peace, the wisdom, and the love that you've discovered within yourself. This elixir comes for all of us if we acknowledge it, but we must walk in it and work with it all the time. Even when we fall, we must get back up again. This gift also isn't for you by yourself. It's not just, it's mine and no one else can share it. It's meant to be shared through your very presence. You may not have to say a word. It's the way you act. You are authentically acting in the manner that you should have been acting all along. It's meant to have us live in alignment with our interconnected nature and watch the ripple effect as it moves across the waters. You contribute to the evolution of consciousness always, just by being who you divinely are. Your spiritual journey has already started. It already has, whether you believe it has or not. The fact you're here taking this in is proof that your own soul was called, is called, will be called. Remember, this is your personal path, not one of mine or anyone else's. There's no rush. There's no wrong turns, only lessons. There are no wrongs. There are no failures. Trust the process and the quiet whispers of your own inner voice. So I invite you for your next step. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is one small way I can acknowledge the sacred in my life? The journey is here. The only thing you have to do is take a step. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. God bless you. Have a beautiful day.